Life is a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag of pleasurable events and displeasurable events. Some are in our favor, some are not. And both are important in life. Both kind of experiences. This life is meant to experience the duality. We have to experience this. It is necessary. So, favorable events which produce happiness to us is easy to understand. Let's look at the other part. Why painful, sorrowful events are useful for the life? Baba said, of all the pain you are going through, 99% of the pain is self-invited through the execution of your own desires. It is self-invited because of the ignorance, because you don't know the truth, because you don't know how to live your life. You never refer to any manual, life manual, something like Bhagavad Gita, Quran, Bible, discourses, God speaks. Because you did not go through these life manuals, out of ignorance, you are making mistakes, getting into trouble, inviting the pain. And through execution of the cheap desires. So if we move towards desireless life, 99% of the pain can be handled by ourselves. We don't need God's blessing for that. We can simply arrest the self-invitation. But that 1% pain is something Baba gives. That's what Baba said. Even though Baba said, I am giving you 1% pain, I do not see that as a pain. Baba is giving that pain. If he is truly giving the pain, he must be a sadist. God cannot be a sadist. God is merciful. So that apparently pain is an opportunity for our spiritual growth. When a school kid has to complete the homework, instead he wants to go out and play without completing the homework, either the teacher or the parents will punish that kid, that very tender, cute kid. It is so painful to do that, either for the teacher or for the parents. Correct? Yet they do it. Why? Is the teacher sadist? Is the father, mother sadist? Obviously not. Correct? They are merciful. Out of mercy only they punish the kid. What is the mercy here? It is to promote the kid to the next level, to remind the responsibilities so that he will get advanced in the academic education. Just like a father punishes the kid for the kid's benefit, God also gives this 1% troubles, so-called troubles. I call it spiritual opportunities for our own spiritual advancement. Without the pain in life, we will not progress. There is no progress. We will not become great people. Before Gandhi started Satyagraha, there were so many leaders who opposed the British rule. They said, you leave our country, we will rule ourselves. If British said, okay, is that what you want? We will leave. Next day if British leaves quietly, we would not have discovered Gandhi. Gandhi would be a normal person who went through barrister. He might be practicing his lawyership, right? Helping his clients, just a normal lawyer. That's it. A normal lawyer would never become a Gandhi. Because British were unfair on our land, a normal lawyer turned out to be a Mahatma who is in all our pockets today. That's the value of the pain. That's the value of the pain. Pain promotes. Baba said suffering is a ladder in spirituality. Suffering is a ladder in spirituality. not the invited suffering, not the suffering that we invite through execution of the cheap desires. Apart from that, you are not executing any desire, you have not caused any harm to others, still something went wrong and you are suffering. That kind of suffering, which is beyond your control, is a ladder in the spirituality. నాలుగు, ఎలాంటి పరిస్థితిలోనైనా సరే బాబా నన్ను ఈ పరిస్థితిలో ఉంచారు అని సంపూర్ణముగా విశ్వసింపుము అనేది నాలుగవది. ఇది ఇంచుమించు దాని ముందు పాయింట్ లాగానే ఉంది. సంతోషంగా ఉన్నప్పుడు బాబా సంతోషాన్ని ఇచ్చారు, బాధగా ఉన్నప్పుడు బాధని బాబా ఇచ్చారు అన్నట్లుగానే కేవలం సంతోషం బాధ కాకుండా ఎలాంటి పరిస్థితి అయినా, దిస్ ఇస్ ద జనరల్ స్టేట్మెంట్, ఎలాంటి పరిస్థితి ఉన్నా అన్ని పరిస్థితులు బాబాయే మనకి కల్పిస్తున్నారనేటువంటి భావంలో ఉండాలనేటువంటిది నాలుగవది. ద ఫోర్త్ వన్ ఈస్ బీ రిజైన్డ్ టు ఎవ్రీ సిచ్యుయేషన్ and think honestly and sincerely, Baba has placed me in this situation. It's not just plain and pleasure moments only, regardless of the nature of the situation. Indirectly it means Baba creates all these situations for us for our own spiritual benefit. If we understand that much, it's fairly good enough. Okay. I want two volunteers, one above 30 years and one below 15 years. Quick, you don't have a whole lot of time. Two volunteers, one above 30 years, one below 15 years. Come on, where is the spirit? There you go. Come on, over here. Come on. Oh, what is your name?
Meheranshi.
Huh?
Meheranshi.
Meheranshi. And what's your name, sir?
Meher Praveen.
Meher Praveen. Very good. So, I want both of you to try to touch those balloons by jumping. Try touching those balloons. Are these balloons? Anyone is fine, but be careful here. Okay? Try to touch those balloons. Quick. Very good. Give her a big round of applause. She tried. Did she try or not? She tried. Please sit down. Thank you. Now your turn. Either this or that. Give him a big round of applause. Did he try or not? Right? Both tried. One is successful, one is not successful. So trying means doing. That is the message I wanted to give. So let's get into the next message. Fifth one. Telugu English cheppaka Telugu cheptanu deeniki. With the understanding that Baba is in everyone, try to help and serve others. With the understanding that Baba is in everyone, try to help and serve others. What does that mean? Trying only, right? Not really helping and serving. That is the kind of meaning somebody might interpret from this. But here, I asked two people to try, but they have actually done it. Whether they are successful or not, that's a different thing. Right? Whether they did the karma or not is more important. So try to help and serve others does not mean that, okay, I tried but it didn't really work. We saw a poor beggar, hand went into the pocket, we tried to remove it, and on the way we changed our mind. Oh, nobody is watching, why should I give it? Maybe I'll give those 10 rupees later to somebody else. Okay, I tried. Baba said try to help and serve. I tried. That is not what Baba is asking here. Baba is avatar. And his expectation is not just trying for the sake of trying. Trying means sincerely doing it. Whether you will be succeeding or not, that's a different matter. So don't interpret the trying as a half-hearted job. That's what I mean to say. Clear? The sixth one, last one. I say with my divine authority to each and all that whosoever takes my name at the time of breathing his last comes to me. So do not forget to remember me in your last moments. Unless you start remembering me from now on, it will be difficult to remember me when your end approaches. You should start practicing from now on. Even if you take my name only once every day, you will not forget to remember me in your dying moments. So, in this message, Baba is emphasizing the value of reciting God's name, particularly in the last breath. Particularly in the last breath. What is the significance of it? Once a person takes the human life in the evolutionary process, the first human life, from that time onwards, it takes 84 lakhs life cycles to realize this person that he is no longer a person, in fact he is a God. I am God. To realize ourselves as I am God, it takes 84 life cycles. That's the natural process. Everybody has to go through that. No exceptions. If at all there is one exception, this is the only one exception. This is the only one exception. One who takes God's name on the last breath, regardless of where they are in the middle of these 84 lakhs life cycles. Let us say they have spent 5 lakhs life cycles so far, and still 79 lakhs life cycles are pending. At the time of last breath, they took the name of God dearly from the heart. So immediately they will realize the Godhood, skipping the remaining 79 lakhs of life cycles. That is the significance of God's name. Even if that person never takes the God's name on his tongue in his entire life, if he takes once on the last moment, that's good enough to realize his true nature, to experience the infinite happiness, to experience the infinite power, and to feel the infinite knowledge. Just that taking that name in the last breath, that much power is there for that timing and God's name. God's name plus that timing, last breath. But in the same message, Baba says it's not possible for everybody to do that. So you keep practicing from now on. Unless you practice taking my name every day, it is difficult for you to remember me in the last moment. So when he says, take my name every day, our immediate question is how many times per day? Natural curiosity. Dharma Sandeha, what we call. Right? For that also Baba gave the answer in this message. At least once a day is good enough, so that you will remember my name in the last moment. That once a day should be very sincere from the bottom of the heart, appreciating the superiority of Godhood, which is expressed by Meher Baba himself in the Parvardigar prayer. These are all the various attributes of Godhood. Some are expressive attributes, some are non-expressive attributes. He has form, he is formless, both. So similarly, this prayer contains both the expressed and unexpressed attributes. Admiring that higher superiority sincerely from the bottom of the heart, at least if we do that sincerely once a day, Baba is assuring that it's good enough for you to remember me in the last moment. That is a great exception, shortcut Baba is giving. And it doesn't have to be Meher Baba's name, God's name. If you strongly believe in Rama, not much in Meher Baba, fine. Say Rama. If you strongly believe in Krishna, take Krishna's name. If you strongly believe in Allah or Jesus, take that name sincerely in the last moment. Result is same. Because names are only different, God is one. It's only one God. You may be calling with different names. Because the same God comes as avatar multiple times. Every time he comes as avatar, he gets one different name. That's all. But it's the same God. The same Zoroaster came as Lord Rama. The same Rama again came as Lord Krishna. The same Krishna again came as, fill the gap, Buddha. Good. Fill in the blanks, you are doing good. And then same Buddha, same God came again as, I said so many times, so it's now your turn. Jesus Christ. Very good. Yes, you get 1 mark there. And the same Jesus Christ came as Muhammad. Very good. The same Muhammad came as Meher Baba. Tomorrow the same Meher Baba may come as Subbarao. May. He will have different name. Every time he comes, he takes a different name. Name is different, but it is the same one and only one God. If you want to go to beach, if you want to reach the ocean, either you travel in Narmada, either you travel in Kaveri, either you travel in Krishna, Godavari, take a boat and keep going in the flow of the water. You will reach the ocean. The names of the rivers may be different, correct? But all the water reaching the same one and only one ocean. You might ask a question. There are 7 oceans. You are saying only one ocean. There is only one ocean. We are segmenting it based on the geography and giving different names. But this is all the same water mass, isn't it? That's what I mean. So regardless of whose name you take, but it has to be God's name. God's brother's name, God's sister's name doesn't work. It has to be God's name. Okay? So that is the value of the Namasmarana. Not only that one, Namasmarana, the value of reciting God's name, this is not the only one. It has other advantages also. You guys want to try? What are the other advantages of reciting God's name frequently as possible? He says it tells you to control your mind. Helps you to control your mind and have peace of mind. Samskaras are not formed. Okay? New samskaras are not formed. Very good. I am hearing something from backbenchers. Sorry? Reduce desires. Very good. So it helps to control the mind. It helps to not form the new samskaras, to reduce the desires. All correct answers. Anything else? Koni samskaralu tagipotai. Very good. That is also true. By taking the God name, removal of samskaras lo చెప్పుకున్నాం మనం. ఆశలన్నీ తగ్గుతాయి. వెరీ గుడ్. ఆల్ ఆర్ కరెక్ట్ ఆన్సర్స్. గివ్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ ఎ బిగ్ రౌండ్ ఆఫ్ అప్లాస్. The biggest advantage is it is the filler of the mind. The more frequently you keep remembering God's name, it fills the mind with God's name. When the mind is full, there is no room for dirty ideas to come inside. It's already full. Our mind has the vast capacity. Our computer may have only 36 gig, but our mind gig is terabytes, gigabytes, zillion bytes. That much memory is there. So it always has room for additional dirty thoughts.